welcome back to our coaching dynasty. We are preparing for week one, and we are taking on Mississippi State, in-state rival here. First game jitters, you can see game week. Coach Ivory passes. Early mistakes are expected, but the coaching staff is confident in the team ahead of this week's opener. What are we confident about? And that's just seeing what our offense is. We're confident that I guess we can say now that we're the head coach, both our offense and our defense, we're going to see where our team is at. Just to run over with you guys, we're going to build some of the lore around here. We had this is Roadmaker. This guy had entered the transfer portal, or was interested in doing so. We ended up talking him into returning. So he's going to be our starting quarterback, and I'm really glad because the next guy up was going to be this Alex Winkler, who's not an actual NIL guy. He's like a made-up quarterback here. He's 71 overall. He's our second string. I actually got a red shirt on him at the moment because we do have John White. John White is actual kid in the game or in real life. But if let's say Roadmaker goes down with an injury, we can always take the red shirt off of Winkler. But that's just going to ensure there's kind of a battle right here for next season. And if we're not able to get a quarterback through recruiting, we're going to need somebody with experience. So that's the reason there. But for this season, we've got a great size. This guy's actually in real life a transfer from Florida State. He was there for a while, so we're really happy about that. At running back, we've got Jalen Washington, decent speed, decent size at 195 pounds. It's got good acceleration, good change of direction, and his carry is up in the 90s. Then we've got some experience back behind him, but we don't really have any fast running backs. So that's something I would like to address through recruiting. For fullback, we actually moved this guy right here. Marquise Ebron. He was a wide receiver with 83 speed. So what I did is move him to fullback. He was actually a better fullback than he was a wide receiver, and he was 207 pounds. So I adjusted his weight to 225 because if you're going to move positions, the strength and conditioning coach, the dietitian, they're all going to make you work and put on weight or take off weight when depending on what position you move into. In this case, from wide receiver to fullback, we wanted him to put on weight, so we did that manually. Luckily, he did that from the time he got recruited in high school until first season here at Southern Miss. He's going to be a true freshman starter for us. You can see he had a recoup physical ability, and also he's clear-headed mental ability. So that's why we kind of made him our fullback. And then we've got another guy down here, 6'2", 229. He was an actual fullback recruit, two-star guy that he's just a 60 overall. So our wide receiver was going to be a better fullback than him, just changing positions. At wide receiver, we've got Larry Simmons, 6'1", 190. A deep threat, and Javion Butler, 6'5", 207. I'm really excited about that. The suggested slot receiver here is going to be Mims at 5'9", 175, right? You can see the speed, 90 and 93. His catch is at 81, which is the best on the team. But I have him second in the slot for this first game, and the reason is because of this kid right here, Keyshawn Buckley. You can see the speed at 99. You can see the acceleration at 96. Amazing change of direction. He doesn't have the worst catch on the team, but if we can get him in some space, I think he could be dangerous. And if he ends up being really terrible, we've got him on kick returns and punt returns. We'll easily just jump back into Mims right here. And honestly, if Buckley ends up being like a huge contributor and can catch these short passes across the middle like we did at Hawaii with Nishigia, then he's going to be a threat, and we could probably put the red shirt on Mims. I know that sounds crazy, but it's a possibility, and we can save a year of eligibility for him because again, he has the best catch on the team. The only guy we're going to keep for next year is this recruit, Kadron Khan, 6'3", 195. He's got really good speed. He's got a lot of things to work on in the offseason. In his redshirt year, I'm pretty sure we're going to get rid of both these guys. Moving on to tight end is, I think that's Kyrian Heat, 6'4", 235. The junior is Justin Reed at 6'5". I put the red shirt on Taryn Bedford just because he's third on the depth chart, and we've got Reed down here at 6'4", 220. We do use a third tight end in some of our big jumbo sets, but he's not like a staple. So instead of like getting rid of two tight ends and needing a recruit, we'll put the red shirt on him, let this sophomore get some playing time, and then these three guys will be pretty seasoned for next year. Left tackle, we've got a senior starter and a senior backup. Welch is going to be our 6'7" sophomore red shirt that we're going to be looking to start next season. At left guard is a bunch of juniors and a freshman. These guys were kind of in a battle, Barnes and Pollard. I don't really know what to do with these guys right here. I think, just depending if we have any holes like blitzes or 3-man or 4-man fronts that are getting through the line, we might move these guys. And the reason being is because our center, both our junior and our senior, are less overall, right? But this left guard, if you move them to center full time, he was actually a 74, so he would have been third string. But I might look at him to piece him in here because you can see 6'2", about 300 pounds. This guy's a little more agile, Pollard, so we could put him, and then we can do 6'5", 320, probably kick him to center. We got a really big center then, right? But over at right guard's probably our best lineman. It's Saxton. He's a junior too, so that's really awesome in the right guard. Right tackle is a senior, 78 overall, but we do have this junior who's moving up at 6'6". Looking at our ends, 75 and 80. This guy's actually the KU transfer. He already wants to transfer out of Ole Miss, by the way, so we might only get 1 year with him. Defensive tackle at 78 overall. We've got Dante Kelly at linebacker for us. Ooh, we skipped right over middle linebacker, didn't we? We've got a senior red shirt and Crew Jackson. This guy is also a transfer. I believe he came from, I want to say Arizona State. I can't recall right off the top of my head. And then we also had Whit Weeks, who I want to say Whit Weeks came from LSU. We have a sophomore red shirt at cornerback. That's Braxton Myers. Down the list, like our two seniors are kind of in the slot position to start now, as we have two sophomores going to start in coverage. So we'll see how that pans out. Our freshman is Dalton Brooks. This is the Texas A&M transfer. He's an 80 overall for us as a junior. To be honest, we kind of had some depth at free safety though, so I did move one of our free safeties, Cage, over to strong safety, just because he was a senior, and we might do the same depending. We don't have a whole lot of interest from strong safeties in our recruiting, so we might have to look at the portal. We might move some free safeties over to strong. Not quite sure yet, but we do have a true freshman. He's probably going to get cut at 60 overall. The kicker, so this guy was one that was signed in the previous recruiting class, but so he's going to take the red shirt. But Gibbs is going to be our starter there. You can see kick power is 87, right? I'm not sure how much improvement a kicker will get, but we do have a recruit that has 92 kick power, which is even better than that. So if we end up signing him, I'm going to cut Westbrook. We'll redshirt the new guy for Gibbs's senior season, and then we'll have 4 years with a 92 kick power. At punter, as a true freshman, we end up recruiting this guy late when we came in. 6'4", 193 is accurate. 73 kick power, 77 kick accuracy. We'll see how he pans out. I don't really know. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have a whole lot of options there to make decisions. You only get a few weeks when you take over a new team. And we made the most of them. A lot of transfer that came in for our first head coaching job, so we're really excited about that. We'll just go over this right here. You can see we're actually pretty close. 82 overall for Mississippi State, 81 overall for Southern Miss. So we're actually, on paper anyways, by roster, we're a better team than we had at Hawaii, and we did pretty good at Hawaii. 9-5 for our very first season ever as an offensive coordinator. But we are in the Sun Belt Conference. We are playing some pretty decent opponents, so we'll see how this first year goes. Their impact player is going to be this tight end right here, so I'll keep an eye on that for our first, like, little, we're taking over defense, we're taking over special teams, we're playing the entire game, so I'll keep an eye on this guy. Let's go over our first team schedule right here. As you know, we're going to be taking on Mississippi State. Then we're on the road at Houston. This one isn't going to be super easy. At Louisiana Tech. First, Jacksonville State. I think Jack State's in the Conference USA. Then we got Georgia Southern, Georgia State, Louisiana Monroe, South Alabama, Louisiana, Arkansas State, Troy, Texas State. But what I'm thinking right here is these first two games are going to be a test, right? And we're going to see where we're at, but I don't see why we can't go on a tear right here and win all of these games. I don't know. We had a conference championship last year at the Mountain West. We're going to shoot for that in our very first year in the Sun Belt. We're on the west side of the Sun Belt. But right away, our schedule doesn't jump out and say that we're like super outmatched here. Heisman watch. We've got the halfback Nicholas Singleton out of Penn State, Caden Salter, the quarterback out of Liberty, Evan Stewart, wide receiver, Oregon. He's a senior. This guy's actually having an amazing 2024. I think in 4 games he has almost 1,000 yards and 13 touchdowns in real life. This guy is crazy good. And then Drew Aller, he is the quarterback out of Penn State, 6'5", 241. Gee, that's like a dream size for a quarterback. You know what I mean? A pocket quarterback at least. You probably cut 30 pounds off of that, and you got a scrambling guy. And it's always good to have inches as a quarterback. So I like the quarterbacks to be, you know, if they're really super good, like 6'2" minimum. But 6'3" and above is like what we're going to search for in our dynasty for the guys that we put behind center, unless we get desperate. You know what I mean? Top 25. It's not going to show us. We got to actually go in here. Oregon, Ohio State, Syracuse, Alabama, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Clemson, Penn State, Cal, and Georgia. Right? And then you can kind of go through here. K-State returns to the top 25. Look at that. A loss versus Syracuse. And then they're going up against Boston College. Ole Miss is down here. We got Missouri, Texas. So just to touch on some of this lore as well. There was 4 guys that we saw from Hawaii enter the portal. The first one was the quarterback, John. I can't say his last name, but he was number 16. He ended up transferring to Cal. He is buried on the depth chart. He transferred out of there because of coach prestige, with the new guy coming in. All these guys did, actually. So he went to Cal, and he's, I want to say, 4th on the depth chart. Actually, you know what we can do? We'll just go over these guys. I know where I just love the game, and I love seeing where everybody's at. So Tylan Hines went to Air Force, and he is for playing time, and he's going to be in a battle for 3rd string, which isn't crazy. I'm not sure how accurate this would be. I don't think you can just join Air Force based on your football prowess. You've got to have like letters from senators. You've got to have a ton of referrals to go to a military academy school. But nonetheless, the game has him going to Air Force. Nobody signed him, by the way. He didn't have any offers. So anyways, 3rd string for Tylan Hines. He was gonna be in the mix for a big time receiver spot at Hawaii should we have stayed, but he decided to transfer. Okay. Next one up is, we just talked about him. Where is he? California. That's gonna be our quarterback. His name is John. I told you. You pronounce it. Don't make fun of me. Number 10 was the only number he had open, but you can see, man, 5th on the depth chart. And really, he's got a freshman ahead of him. I don't know why he transferred there. You know, it'll be cool that he gets to play at, I think, the ACC. Yeah, ACC school. You know, instead of sitting, I don't know. Who knows where he would have been. He's a 70 now, so he didn't get any training points because he transferred. He would have been right around competing for the starting job at Hawaii, but it is what it is. The next guy, this is the only guy who's actually starting from transferring, and that's Nick Cynical. He is the #1 guy at KU. So pretty cool that he made the right decision to go transfer, and he's going to get quite a bit of playing time. The final guy on that list is one of our staples. He was the tight end for us. He is now the 3rd string tight end at Memphis. Hopefully, you know, he's kind of undersized, like we said. You can see hometown Honolulu, Hawaii. He was 87 for us, I believe. He's going to be a junior redshirt, 3-star, going to Memphis. 3rd on the depth chart. Hopefully we see him. We'll keep an eye on some of these guys, you know, just to build the lore, build the story around what we're doing with our dynasty. We like to keep it tabs on the guys that we played with and that we coached up and have cool stats and all that. So yeah, just a little deep dive into our dynasty. But I think we're ready now that you guys know the weapons that we have here at Southern Miss. You guys have seen a year of our offense via Hawaii. You're going to witness now our defense and how we just play a full-time game. We've got 2 former head coaches as coordinators. I'm really excited to kick this off as first head coaching job at Southern Miss. We're going to start it here against Mississippi State. I'm not going to lie. We got a little bit of nerves here. Our very first head coaching game. So highlights are going to be a little different because we've got all facets of the game: offense, defense, special teams. Yeah, but we are excited to be leading our first team here. I never thought it'd be Southern Miss, I'm gonna be honest with you, but we take the opportunities we get. Let's go over our first kickoff here, guys. I wanted to just get this on film because it's our first one, man. Great boot. If you watched our time as an offensive coordinator at Hawaii, you know we didn't have a great kicking game. So really excited to see how great or ungreat our kickers are. We're on defense first. One thing I did do, guys, is our rush ends, our linebackers. I'm going to play around with this between game 1 and game 2 and put our defensive ends there. And then our first game, though, we're going to have our linebackers there and just see if our second string, quote unquote, linebackers can handle the second level. And you can see right away, we're giving up. We're giving up some runs here, and they're in the hurry up offense. So I'm just like cutting through this stuff, and it is difficult. So I'm excited I'm going to let this whole game play out like this with the linebackers out there. But we're having a hard time stopping the run. Whit Weeks, the LSU transfer, is on one end. And then our Texas A&M transfer, Brooks, steps in front of this. He's our starter. Super excited. We got a pick on the very first drive as a head coach, man. That was really cool. It was whatever, AI. What is it when it's not a user pick? Computer pick, CPU pick. We didn't step in front of this one. This was just great skills by that guy, but that was a big transfer portal find right there, a starting free safety. We're going to start it out how we always do, running between the tackles. It's going to take a minute to learn the roster because we're so used to what we did at Hawaii. You could see we're a 3 and out right there. We had to drop. Play action leads to our very first sack. This is why we put those linebackers. That's actually our starting outside linebacker. That's why we put them there, is because they have a higher rating, obviously, but they're also like a lot faster. But that leaves a lot of holes in our second level, linebacker level. I thought we were gonna have our second pick of the game. We're doing pretty good though. 0-0. It's going back and forth. We're finding our tight ends here. Crossing route. Big guys that we're eyeballing is obviously, and if you guys know, shout it out in the comments. I think it's Rodemaker. He's the Florida State transfer from a couple years ago at quarterback, and then Buckley in the slot. We've got a freshman running back. Here's Buckley, by the way. He's got like a little, like a shifty perk, low-level shifty perk. So excited about him. We go to him twice, kicking it out, getting some yards for the first time, guys. We're within the 10-yard line, 3rd and 6 from the 6 here, and we take a sack. But we're going to be the first on the board if we can convert this field goal attempt, which is just a chip shot. We ain't got, I think his name was Leota. He's got the same face mask as Leota. He's got the same skinny arms as Leota. But 3-0 here. Got a little read option, and I'm thinking, guys, the issue with the run game here is that we don't have very good linebackers because they're on the line. But we are getting pass rushes on. Unfortunately, our secondary breaks down. This is a pretty damn easy touchdown, I'm not gonna lie, and I was really disappointed. Just trying to learn like what defense is best for us too is also kind of a big challenge. So 7-3 here after the first. We've got a lapse in tackling, a lot of missed tackles, a lot of misalignment, and then our secondary just not being great. But we are, I can't even say we're offensive superstars. We're offensive specialists. This is what we do best. So I'm hoping that we can at least hang in the game and make some magic happen here, because we do know how to move the football. You could see right there, Buckley around the end. Keyshawn Buckley's a senior. He's actually wearing 17 in real life, but they got him 82 in the game. I'm pretty sure they just haven't updated that roster. But right here, man, pass interference while the ball was in the air. Luckily, the defender didn't tip it, but that sets up our RPO. This is what we ran with Nishigia at Hawaii. Buckley makes the catch. The first touchdown on our head coaching journey comes from the slot, comes from the RPO. It's super fitting. I was really excited about this. This guy has 99 speed, by the way. That's why we love to just get him the ball in space. He's not the best. He doesn't have the best catching stats, though. So there's a developing thread happening with that. Keep an eye there. You can see like it takes a bit to tackle these guys. Fortunately, we're able to hold them. It's 3rd and 16, 3:30 to go here in the half. And oh my gosh, he had that guy. And unfortunately, even though he overthrew it, we could have got off the field. We roughed the passer with that blitz, and they're able to convert. And then they just run the damn ball because, like, look at that, man. I've got to get better at tackling. I've got to get better at positioning. There's a lot to be. Oh my, it's so cringy. Like, guys, there's no excuse for it. I just got to get better. I got to learn. But this is a baptism by fire. Able to roll out, able to throw off his back foot, able to throw across his body for a touchdown. I don't know how he does it, man, but hell of a play by the quarterback. He's not turning the ball over. One pick for him, and this is really a great play by our A&M transfer. We go deep here. Check that out. Able to break it open. 1:45 left in the half. Our 2-minute offense was on full display. We're able to hit him in stride, and that little cannon that goes off when we score, that's very cool. I like the atmosphere here at Southern Miss. But broken tackle, able to outrun a bunch of guys. We've seen this a lot at Hawaii, so the realization that we've got a couple weapons is pretty cool. So 5 seconds later, literally, you can see minute 41 here, 14-17. All we've got to do is just hold these guys until halftime, but our defensive backs, man, too slow. They hit the out, they get out of bounds, they get the first down, and then they're going deep. Big pick, big user pick, perfect timing user pick. I was really excited about this one. Second pick of the game for that quarterback. He's got a kind of a weird throwing motion too, if you see that, like a 3/4 shortstop infielder kind of throw. But with a minute 12, we're going to go to work. This is 3rd and 7, by the way. We're not able to catch this. We have to kick it. So 6 seconds later, a minute 2, 62 seconds left in the half. Boom, hitting that just precision. I know how good it feels because we did it all last year. And then look at this bad boy. They hit it deep. Our defender can't make a play on the ball. Like, just ran right by us. So there, I learned very quickly it doesn't take a whole lot of time to score. So unfortunately 21-17 here. And then yeah, we tried to throw it thinking that 30 seconds was not going to be enough for them to score, and one play later we have no safety help over the top, and they end up scoring twice in about 24 seconds. I'm going to learn from that. Because that hurts. We were in the game. We had a chance. I think I just tried to do too much, you know? Like they scored. It was 21-17. I said, nah, I don't think so. There's plenty of time. I'm going to get the lead back before half because that's how it was supposed to be. We end up like quick passes. They knock them all down or sack us. No time off the clock. And then they end up scoring 14 points in about 30 seconds game time. So the big adjustments that we're going to make, honestly, nothing. There's nothing that I don't have enough data to make any changes. I know that I set out on the plan with our defensive ends and also our slot receiver like Buckley. We got the speed, but for the second game, I know that we're going to move linebackers to linebacker spots, ends to end spots. And then we're going to move our like seasoned, I guess, our better overall wide receiver into the slot. We're just going to get some data between game 1 and game 2, but let's not look too far ahead, guys. We still got a game to play. Buckley's going to take it. He's really fast. As you know, he's also got some shifty, like little, whatever they're called, attachments. Damn it. I don't know. You get him in Road to Glory too, but that's why we wanted him there. Short little pass plays didn't work out. We had to punt it. We just bring heat on defense. That's our plan. Sending the blitz. We're able to get to the quarterback there. 3rd and 5. Just throws this like short little post. Our guys can't tackle worth a damn. So they're in the red zone again. Right here, we're just forcing this guy, forcing them. Get the sack. Whit Weeks, the LSU transfer. To stop these guys in the red zone, an SEC team, we're getting really hyped up. We're trying to, you can see we're trying to get the crowd into it, and it works, guys. They shanked this field goal attempt. We're still in this game, 17-28. If we can score here, it's going to be a 4-point game. So I'm really trying to lock in. You can see 4 catches for 110 yards right there. This is our second string running back, a little bit bigger of a guy, and he actually had a fairly good game running between the tackles here. Another crossing route, just getting everybody involved. 21-yard line, trying to punch this in, knowing that we've got all our timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. We make it a 1-score game, 28-20 at this point. I'm also really happy we've got a decent little kicker here that we can put some points on the board from. You know, it doesn't have to be on the damn 19-yard line to be at the end of this guy's range, but there it is. So you can see these guys approaching. They're running the clock down. This is the 2-minute warning. And guys, we didn't set an edge. He's able to convert the first down. They just run it straight up the middle. They run the clock out. We lose our first game, and we lose it at home, but it's against a pretty good SEC team. If you play in the SEC, you're going to be pretty good. 279 yards, 4 touchdowns. He did throw 2 picks though, so you guys ain't talking about that, are you? So we had some good things. We had some bad things. We play in the Sun Belt Conference, so I know that we're going to get some more evenly matched teams. It's pretty evident from the bowl game last year. Even we had a pretty good, pretty explosive Hawaii team that just got absolutely crushed by a Big Ten Michigan State team. So yeah, here's some game stats for you guys. 12 attempts, 42 yards for our redshirt freshman running back. Receiving wise, that's our guy, Kashawn Buckley. He's the Nishigi of the team. Got himself a touchdown, 5 for 119 for Simmons. Jay Reed was a big highlight tight end coming across the middle. Mims had a drop. We're actually going to put him as a starter for the next game. Then you can see here, I want to go over the tackles. Sabatini, he's like a specialist, but 2.5 sacks from the outside linebacker, and then Whit Weeks, the other outside linebacker, got a sack. We're going to see how that changes. 2 picks, Willis and Brooks. Brooks is the Texas A&M transfer. We also got player of the game. With that, he was down. He was playing defensive end most of the time. I don't know. I've got to get the data. I've got to see like how they match up from one game to the other. You know what I mean? So we're going to make that switch as we go into Houston. 0-1. This is going to be their first game. They're going to open it up at home against us. We've got some really good playing experience under us with that Mississippi State game. So we're looking to do big things against Houston at Houston. Let's go get it. First road game of our head coaching career. All the jitters are out as we understand a bit about our defense and special teams. So 2 more facets of the game that we didn't have control of as the offensive coordinator at Hawaii. But just like at Hawaii, we will learn. We will get better. We did move our linebackers out of the rush end positions and put some defensive ends there. So we'll see how that changes. And then we're also going to put Mims instead of Buckley at the receiver to see if the route running and the catching boosts will actually help us out. So that guy, Mims, is going to be the guy that moves into the slot. There's a look at our coach and a look at Rodemaker, our quarterback. First drive of the game, guys. You know what we do. Jalen Washington between the tackles, redshirt freshman. Just trying to get something established. You can see on the road here, there's a pretty decent stadium pulse. On 3rd and 4, we do get pressured. We had a guy. I'm not sure if we would have got the first, but we did have a guy. We end up punting the ball away. Just showing you guys some of the impact players on both sides of the ball as Houston comes out. And my gosh, guys, can we make a tackle here? You know what I'm saying? I just chalked that up to a little nerves to start the game. But if you look right here, can we not tackle? How many people did it take? So I went in here. I changed our tackling, I guess, game plan to conservative. Just make the damn tackle. I don't care if he runs over you. And then, of course, you know, wide open holes. Huge gain for the running back there, but I stick with the conservative tackling. That had nothing to do with the tackle. We do get a sack, first sack of the game. This is going to be our defensive tackle, Armandus Cooley. Kind of a awesome last name there, Armandus. But the pressure's working. We're trying to send an extra guy almost every play. And this is going to be a defensive backup sophomore. We'll see here in a second. Braxton Myers, sophomore defensive back, coming off the edge there. The game plan is to just try to force these guys into mistakes. It's worked out. 3rd and 20 here, you can see. So we drop back into zone coverage, and I don't know. We should. I guess we should have just rushed another guy and got some pressure because completely wide open there. 7-0. The quarterback finds the freshman wide receiver for Houston, and not a great start defensively. We are finding holes here in the kick return game, so that was good, but we're not able to explode through them. Here's kind of our first look at Mims in the slot, and then here on a zig route as well. We're just going to kind of judge, compare, whatever the term you want to use, him and Buckley to see who's going to be our fit. So 3 catches in a row there. He's all right. He hadn't dropped any at this point, which Buckley did have a couple drops, and then we run the jet sweep pass, and he's able to break tackles and have hard runs. So we're liking what we see there. Out of our freshman running back, Jalen Washington, just getting some tough yards. And then look at that. We had a first down, man. And then I just said Mims wasn't dropping any balls. He ended up dropping that one via the contact. But luckily we got a, look at that everyday sausage. We got a kicker that's got a little bit of a leg. We get on the board 3-7 there. Running back, of course, giant holes, really soft zone coverage. We start playing with press after this to try and mitigate some of these like giant cushions that we're giving them. Yeah, we'll see how that works. Caleb Bryant, the sophomore, this guy actually really wants to transfer because of our playing style. So he does get a sack, so hopefully that helps him out. He's at like basically 99%. He's going to transfer next year, so this might be the only year we get to play with him, but it's all good. He's doing his job for now. Back to that zone coverage, really soft, able to hit a slant, and Houston goes up 14-3. 2-minute warning though. Our goal, 2-minute warning. I mean, it's plenty of time to score, so if we just stay methodical here. Cross the middle, and then zig routes going out. Picking up decent yards. That's 3,000 yards for his career. This is only the second game we've been with him. We've had a small part in that, so we're proud of that, but not really something we were super excited about. This play really annoyed the hell out of me because the receivers were supposed to cut so much earlier, and then zone coverage, I guess, just pushed them out, and we weren't able to get a read open. So a giant sack there. We punted away, but then our sophomore corner, who we saw earlier get a sack, gets his second sack of the game. He's having a hell of a game. Fortunately, it wasn't one giant play in the final 30 seconds for Houston, and we're able to keep it, whatever the score was, 11 points down, 3-14 at half. We've got a lot to make up for in this second half. I think we have a decent idea on what adjustments we want to make because of the pressure they're bringing and the zones that they're exploiting. So we might move into man, mix it with some zone blitzes, and see if that changes anything in the second half. And then you saw we had 0 rushing yards in the game because it's mitigated by our sacks. We definitely want to get Jalen Washington kind of heated up because our run game's kind of non-existent. We'll get it started. We get the ball to Houston. Second half to kick it out, and you can see these guys really moving the ball. But the good thing is we're not giving up these giant plays. We bring the pressure, just like I said, and we get our first pick, our first turnover of the ball game. We talked about the tackle leader from last week. He ends up getting the pick. Sabatini, the junior strong safety. When your third level guy is the leading tackler for a week, that's not a good sign. But he gets a pick there. You can see the nerves of the road get into our quarterback Rodemaker. We overthrow that one. Here on 3rd and 8, we are able to hit the hook. We are able to convert. A couple plays later, 3rd down, we kick it out to a screen pass, breaks one tackle, but not able to get the first down. That's going to set up a 30-yard field goal attempt from the right hash, and our guy tucks it in. 6-14, so we know it's a one-score game here. Defense has just got to show up, and we know how to force this guy into mistakes. It's evident again here. Amazing pick on the sideline. They did end up challenging this, saying that we didn't have possession. So we'll get kind of a quick look at that. I love the reaction of the crowd too, by the way. Cameron Knox, he's our second string free safety. You can see right here. Oh, it didn't show close. You can see we got that foot down. And we did get that pick. A big jet sweep here by Mims. Guys, we're going to score on this play. I told this guy's running hard, but unfortunately we got a damn holding call. Would we have scored if there was no holding? I don't know. That's to be determined, but it was a huge play negated. And on 3rd and 12, we throw it for 11 and a half. They say we should do a 51-yard field goal. I say no. We need to get this right up the gut here. And I'm thankful because you know from episode 3, I believe, while we were at Hawaii, that running on 4th down isn't always a give me, if you will. Jalen Washington's able to convert that. A couple of big runs here. 2nd and 1. We're going to give it to him off tackle, and he gets a touchdown. Guys, this is our opportunity to tie the ball game. We know we've got to go for 2, but really hard running from the young running back. We're really excited about that. Kind of untouched. Here's our 2-point conversion. What we're going to do is try to mix people on the crossing routes and kick it out to our big tight end. Wide open. That was easy. 14-14 here. 5.5 minutes to go in the game. We're bringing pressure. He just tries to flip it out. Our turn. So right here, this was, I did not know what to do. A lot of pressure. It was really crazy. Oh, here's our replay that I thought we'd have with that interception. But we kind of just threw this one up for grabs, and I'm really thankful that he brought that, that he was able to make the catch there, secure the catch. I was trying to see what was happening here, but guys, this is exactly what we tried to make happen. Is on 4th and 1, we wanted to just run the clock out by like fake snapping, and they jumped off sides. So we've got some momentum here. Unfortunately, on this crossing route, we telegraph it right to the defense. It was one of those stutter step read defensive where he looks like he's going to the next level, but like right when you decide to throw it to him, he steps in front of your guy. Yeah, by the time I pulled the trigger, I could see it already happening. The ball wasn't even out of our quarterback's hand, and I knew this was going to be a pick. I thought maybe we'd be able to run him down and stop the pick 6, but they get an easy go ahead. It's 21-14, and we've got roughly 4 minutes, a little more than 4 minutes to try and go tie this game. Getting a little play action, a little rollout, and then again, kind of just throwing it up to see what happens. Luckily, there was no one around as we throw this one on the run. We get the first down, and then this creepy tackle right here. The defensive tackle was on the ground like a fucking dead zombie. He crawls over and grabs the shoelaces of our running back Washington and makes the tackle. And then on 2nd and 9 here, we're just hanging on the ball a little too long. We take the sack. 3rd and 17, going back to that hook route. Unfortunately, we're 3 yards short, so we're going to run the hurry up, and then we're going to kick it out on this RPO. And Mims, man, he's really showing up. Got us the first down. 3rd and 2 here. A minute left in the game. 4th and 1. We're going to jump right back on the ball and try to get these guys out of position. We're going to hand it to Washington. He's going to go up the middle on 4th and 1. He's going to go up the middle and score with less than a minute left in the game. We're going to tie it up. The decision here to either kick the field goal or go for 2 was fairly easy. I thought we could definitely hold these guys. I thought we could. And you could see initially we were kind of right, calling the right coverages, but on this play action pass they start throwing across the middle. Now we're starting to get nervous. You know, we've got a decent like red zone defense, so I figured we'd have a better shot of winning this in overtime than if we missed the 2-point conversion. You know what I'm saying? But our defense just kind of fell apart here. They move across the 50-yard line. They're going to run it off tackle right here. They're not going to get a whole lot, only 4 yards, but they are going to call a timeout, they are going to hurry up and spike the ball. And then with 14 seconds, they got a good kicker, man. They make it. and we run into the kicker. So every single time I've got to adjust the sliders here. I think every time I've tried to block a kick, I get running into the kicker. So it's an automatic first down if they end up missing that. So I might try to tweak that just a little bit. We've got one chance here, 8 seconds. We're gonna throw it deep, and that was kind of a bad throw. I thought we were gonna get some air under it. I thought we were gonna throw it out in front of him, but we end up like trying to. I don't know what the hell the throw was trying to accomplish there. But we throw our second pick of the game. Yeah, starting off the coaching career 0-2. It's out of conference though, so there's still hope here. We can still go into conference play and challenge and maybe pull something like we did at Hawaii. You know, we lost about a handful of games, but we were able to get a conference championship and stay competitive. The game wasn't a complete blowout. You know, we only lost by a touchdown. There's a few mistakes that cost us the game. So, yeah, but I still have high hopes for this. 0-2 to start, though. 205 yards for the quarterback, not too bad. 20 carries, 66 yards for Jalen Washington. Receiving wides, Mims going to lead. He's a slot receiver that replaced Buckley. Simmons, 4 for 69. We got Butler and Washington. And then Reed and Thomas each with a catch of their own. 2 drops for Mims. Defensively here, you can see Braxton Myers, our sophomore corner, 2 sacks leading the way. We also got 1 from Bryant, and then a half each from Davis and Cooley. On the interceptions, it's going to be second string free safety Knox, and then our strong safety Sabatini. Braxton Myers gets Sun Belt Player of the Week for those 2 sacks. We do have a guy ready for a visit. This is an athlete. We're not really looking to see what he can do as a quarterback per se, because he does have some skills as a receiver as well. But we do have some extra points, so I'm going to go ahead and see if we can add to our secondary. We end up finding this guy who might be at 6'2", 214, might be a good linebacker option as well. He ends up being a gym too, so we're going to offer him a scholarship. We're also going to give him some of those recruiting points. That's going to be it for our bye week. As we move forward, the guy, and the reason I said that last guy, we might not look at him as quarterback because Terrence Mallory, 6'4", 204, he's an improviser quarterback. He's a gym. He's ready for a visit as well. So those guys are going to be on the same visit. I really think if we get both of them, that athlete will be a receiver. But it is going to cost us 1 little chevron in the red to visit those guys on the same weekend. That's okay though, because if we end up winning that game, it's 3 chevrons in the green. So we'll see what happens. Next game, we're back on the road. We got a rivalry game against Louisiana Tech. Guys, I'm looking to bounce back. I'm looking to get our first win. We're learning every game, every down, every play. I think there's going to be a point where this whole thing goes our way, and I'm hoping it's against Louisiana Tech here on the road. It's a beautiful day to go get a win. Is it not? 0-2 rivalry game at Louisiana Tech. These are some pretty cool uniforms. I'm not going to lie. I love the powder blue. Yeah, man. They got quite a few uniform sets. Louisiana Tech does. Fun little fact, the Duck Commander guy played quarterback at Louisiana Tech back in the day. That's neither here nor there. One team is leaving today with a win. Both of us 0-2. We are going to kick. That gives us the benefit of, if we can get a lead at halftime, we could extend it to 2 scores, right? It's all in theory. Right now, we have the current streak of 1 game. We won last year. 36-17 is the all-time record between the 2 schools here. Got a little motion. They're going to start the game out here just like we do, running between the tackles. We like that. They do run a hurry-up offense, but this kind of bites them. Braxton Myers. You'll remember from 1 week ago, he had 2 sacks. The sophomore has a 31-yard pick 6 on the first drive of the game. Damn, that's how we want to start a rivalry game. Pick six. 33 seconds into the game, we're on the board and our offense hadn't even touched the field yet. In the background there, you can see Whit Weeks, the LSU transfer. But this guy originally committed to Southern Miss, 19th overall cornerback in his class back in the day. But we almost got his second pick there on the blitz on third downs. You can see right there, he's an impact player as a sophomore. Pretty crazy. One of our top 2 best players. Our first play, yeah, we talked about it. We're going to give it to Washington. Jalen Washington, our redshirt freshman, just right up the middle, trying to establish the run game. 3rd and 2 here, going right back to him. We don't want to make any mistakes. We know that we're prone to doing so. But that running game and establishing tough yards opens up a corner route. That's Larry Simmons, our primary receiver. And then once you can open up the corners in the middle, you can go back to the run game. So we're playing both heads and tails here, and making big progress. We don't end up converting here. 3rd and 10. We do have to settle for a field goal. Points are points. We want to make it a 2-score game, without a doubt. We've got a kicker. Look at these guys, are so funky looking in the game, are they not? We want to make sure we can establish this 2-score, and then we want to keep it. So we're going to bring pressure. This guy's a KU transfer by Job, I think is how we're going to pronounce that. Amazing little spin move. This is one of the changes that we were talking about. He had a red shirt on originally to start the year, but we wanted to see the left ends instead of the linebackers. After the sack, though, there was some piss poor tackling. And literally, what was that, like 82 yards for a score here? I'm not, you can see right here, like the mistimed dive, and then I want to say that was a hit stick where the guy just fell down. I'm not sure exactly what happened and why they like pretty much gave up on the tackle there, but we didn't make him earn it, that's for sure. We try to do our own thing. We're only able to manage 10 yards. You can see 5 carries, 30 yards on the game for him up to that point. Jalen Washington, we're going to rely on him more. Just a preface to the game, we're going to rely on him more and try and establish that. Try to open up these plays right here. You can see this is almost a mirror of what we did on the first drive. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And we're having great success back down in the red zone for the second time. You can see this was kind of a designed rollout that did not work. Too much pressure. We got to settle for another field goal. That's not what we wanted. We wanted to keep it a 2-score game, but we are happy to have a reliable kicker. 13-7 here with 4.5 minutes to go in the half. We just kind of want to stop them, but the zone coverage is weak. I need to figure this out. We need to figure it out fast. It's been 3 weeks. We're still having massive holes, but you know, we're getting better with the run game. We hold them on third down. They decide to kick a 53-yard field goal. I didn't even think he's going to get close. I ended up putting Sabatini back there. We weren't even prompted to block the kick or anything. It put us into a coverage defense. So they end up missing that. Luckily, our goal is to go down here. We're going to try and score, but you can see first down. Damn, man, Larry Simmons has a huge drop, so we're going to go back to relying on Jalen Washington. He's going to pick up 9 yards on the carry on 3rd and 1. We're just going to go straight up the gut, and there is a hole there. So both sides of the ball, we've got some issues in that second level. Down to the 1-yard line, and here's where the mental problems start happening. We're going to go straight up the middle here with the backup running back. I can't even say we're holding on to the ball too long. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't that crazy, but the pressure just gets to us, man. We take the sack. It's going to be a long 3rd and 17 to score, and luckily Simmons were able to create some space on the hook route. Big touchdown. First offensive touchdown of the game. You know, we got to rely on your main receiver, so I'm glad he's there for us. 20-7, 45 seconds to go in the half. And look at this. Rodeo tackle does not work out for our defensive back. Excuse me, our defensive back. Defensive backs don't like to tackle. There's apparent there. They're moving down the field, and then here just, I don't know, man. There's, look at that, 5 people for 2 wide receivers out there. We left the tight end all alone. They're moving the ball. 24 seconds here, and of course they just take a page out of our playbook. They sit down on the goal line. A little hook or curl, I'm not sure what it was, but he was just standing there. A pretty easy pitch and catch with 21 seconds to go. We're going to take a shot of our own. We're going to go deep. It bobbles quite a bit, and we're not able to haul it in, so that's going to be our halftime, 20-14. We said before the game, you know, we want to try to make sure we're ahead heading into halftime, give us a chance to go up 2 scores. And so goal number 1, we've succeeded. I can't be upset with that. 4 third down conversions, 100 rushing yards, only 92 through the air, which is kind of uncharacteristic, but it's only the first half. If we're having success on the ground, we're not going to force the run or the passing game. And you guys saw that a couple drops, a couple misfires, a lot of pressure. You know, you got to adapt. We can't just rely on a single facet of the game, even though it's so much fun. Like hitting these little hooks and crossing routes for big yards is always fun. But here's our first possession here in the second half on 3rd and 7. We fall a yard short on the crossing route, so we know we're going to have to take risks, especially with how explosive their offense has been. 4th and 1, we gamble, we run it up the middle, it pays off. Thankfully. Here, another drop by a crossing route. They say 53-yard field goal. I say I don't think I can make it. We can't run the hurry up. We're gonna go for it. This is just a straight up 4th down conversion here, and for the second time on the drive we convert a 4th down. It leads to us being down here in the red zone, but then you can see left right while we're getting tackled. Another sack, a long 3rd down. But that just gives us more space to pass, I guess. Because another touchdown, another passing touchdown. This one across the middle. It's going to be Mims. This is the guy that's kind of, I want to say he's in a position battle with Buckley right now. We're going to go back and forth between the two. They're both seniors. So I guess it isn't the worst thing in the world to get them both playing time. But we got to go for 2. Try to extend this. I did not see the defender right there. I thought we had a guy wide open. Luckily, he didn't pick it and run it back for 2 of their own. But here they basically do that, right? Might as well. This one's for 6, though. Damn, man, we got to figure out the pass coverage. I try to bring one guy on the blitz every time. We just want to force mistakes. And to be honest with you, like, our defense is our weak point right now. When they can pretty much score at will, it's not fun for anybody. All right, 26-21. It is less than a 1-score game. We know that they're going to be able to take the lead there. More mental mistakes. So that was Heath. Keep that in mind for this next play. 85, little false start. So we say you better make up for it. And he sure as shit does. Big gain by the big guy. That's what we need. You know, if you mess up, you got to come back and have a big play. That's the goal there. Another big run up the middle. I told you guys we're going to rely on a freshman running back. This is another big run up the middle. I'm sad that we couldn't get him the touchdown, but he puts us down in the red zone again. And just like our first 75 drives down in the red zone, a penalty is going to push us back, and then a sack is going to push us back. Man, we just couldn't figure out what they were doing here in the red zone, and we suffer again here. I feel like we could have had that corner if we wouldn't have got hit in the mouth there and kind of threw it up. Luckily, it wasn't picked off. We're able to kick a field goal. We're going to extend it. You know, they've got to, if they're going to score, they got to go for 2 to tie it up. But we were happy just to get the points and make it difficult for them. We're going to start the drive out with sacking these guys. 3rd and 14 here. And coverage. The damn coverage. Can we figure this out, man? Another gaping hole. This guy has all day to throw. And he connects. Here, he's throwing this up, and this was kind of sad. Our defender gave up. I tried to push the aggressive catch. He just stopped playing football there. The ruling on the field was that he was out of bounds, and I thought we were going to see a replay, but I'm showing you guys this was it, and they just said it verbally. The officials on the field got it right, so they threw that bomb. I wasn't able to see exactly where he caught it. The booth did challenge it. They confirmed he was out of bounds. Luckily, because we're able to bring the pressure. Whit Weeks, the LSU transfer, able to get in there and disrupt things. Our goal now is to just run the damn clock. So you can see this is the play right before the 2-minute warning. We're just going to give it to Mims on the jet sweep pass because he's pretty shifty. He's got like hard running abilities. Here on 3rd and 3, we just throw it away. I don't want to throw a pick. We're going to have to end up punting this thing. They've only got one timeout. The worst case scenario is if they score and get the 2-point conversion, we're just going to go to overtime. And you can see we kind of botched that hit stick right there. I tried to make sure we didn't hit him, but kind of automatic. Usually they accept that and try to run it out. But 3rd and 12, we get the pressure. Big sack here. It's going to lead to 4th and 12 with 30 seconds left in the game. And look at this. Wide open, dude. And thankfully, he overthrew it. They made a mistake. Wide open. I'm not sure how far they would have ran with that one, but we got lucky, guys. We survived our first win as a head coach. We got it, and we did it against a rival on their turf. I can't be super happy about this win, though, because you guys saw how many mistakes we had. Jalen Washington, 24 attempts, 183 yards. What a game. What a game he had. But yeah, it seemed like every time we did something good, they were able to respond right away, and a lot of that had to be with like our defensive alignment, I guess, our coverage choices. I tried to mix it up a lot with like man and zone, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. We got the win. We move on to next week. See right there, 7.6 yards per carry. In the opposite way for Rodemaker, 4 carries, 8 yards for the backup Clay. Mims, 5 catches, 43 yards and a score. And Simmons, 5 for 68 with a score. Roll down the list here. We got Heath and Buckley involved. Buckley is right now in the position battle with Mims. All right, leading tackles is Crew Jackson. On the sacks, we had the KU transfer, and then also Caleb Moore. So he's a power rusher as well. The interception, of course, Braxton Myers. That was a pick 6. This guy is going to be special. Just a sophomore as well. You can see our transfer risk. We added 2 more. That's going to be Galloway, and then the guy we just got from KU. He's looking to transfer because of our championship contender status. We'll try to improve that. Jacksonville State, we're returning back to the Rock here. Southern Miss, we've got a couple guys coming in for a visit. I want to make sure we try to win this game. I believe this is the last non-conference game on our schedule. So we want to do big things. We want to get this win. We want to kind of influence some of our recruits to come here. We are rebuilding this team. You can see how ugly it is. You can see that we got a lot of needs. But thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode. 3 games in to our first head coaching job. We did a lot. We had to look at the roster and played a bunch of games, and we're 1-2, but we can still make some magic happen. We're going to start that journey on the next episode. So if you're liking the series, show some love, leave a like, leave a comment, consider subscribing, hang out for the long run, guys, because we're going to kick it off with game 4 here at home at the Rock against Jacksonville State, and we'll see you guys for game time.